Prince Harry's Invictus Games feud, Indigenous artist stands his ground in explosive showdown. Prince Harry, once a celebrated champion of wounded veterans, has found himself at the center of a raging controversy. A dispute over the design of the Invictus Games 2025 medals has ignited tensions between him and acclaimed Indigenous artist Levi Nelson, a member of the Lil'wat Nation. The issue? Cultural integrity versus royal influence. Nelson, entrusted with crafting the prestigious medals for the next Invictus Games, drew inspiration from Coast Salish traditions, embedding symbols of war paddles and ancestral eyes to represent earth, air, sky, and water, elements deeply rooted in First Nations heritage. His vision was clear. This wasn't just about honoring athletes. It was about preserving Indigenous identity. But Prince Harry had other ideas. Harry's push for change sparks outrage. Sources close to the project reveal that Harry wanted adjustments to the design, advocating for symbols that he felt better represented the values of strength, unity, and resilience. His vision, while noble, quickly clashed with the deeply symbolic nature of Nelson's work. And Nelson? He refused. Despite Harry's insistence, the Indigenous artist stood his ground, making it crystal clear. These designs were not open for revision. The braided cedar rope, a sacred symbol of unity and continuity, would remain untouched. Any changes, Nelson argued, would undermine the very essence of Indigenous storytelling embedded in the medals. This wasn't just about design. It was about respect. The growing rift. Is Harry overstepping his bounds? What started as a creative disagreement has now exposed a growing fracture within the Invictus Games leadership. Insiders claim that Harry's increasing control over the event has led to rising tensions behind the scenes. And when Nelson outright refused to alter his work, Harry was furious. He wasn't expecting this level of pushback, one source revealed. Harry saw the medals as a symbol of the game's spirit, but Nelson saw them as a reflection of his people's heritage. They were never going to agree, but for many within the Indigenous community, Nelson's resistance is being hailed as a victory against outside influence. Social media has erupted with support under the hashtag #RespectIndigenousArt, with users calling out the historical erasure of Indigenous contributions in Western institutions. And for Harry, this has become a public relations nightmare. Harry's tone-deaf approach, a disrespect to Indigenous heritage? Critics argue that this incident reflects a deeper issue with Harry's approach. While his intentions may have been rooted in honoring the athletes, his push for design changes comes off as tone-deaf, an uncomfortable echo of colonial attitudes where Indigenous voices are pushed aside in favor of outside preferences. One Indigenous activist took to Twitter, stating, "It's not just a medal. It's a story, a legacy. You don't get to rewrite it just because it doesn't fit your vision." And Nelson? He's standing tall, refusing to budge, even as tensions within the Invictus Games leadership continue to boil over. What happens next? With Invictus 2025 fast approaching, this controversy is far from over. Will Harry back down and respect Nelson's artistic sovereignty? Or will this become yet another chapter in his growing list of leadership missteps? One thing is clear. This battle is no longer just about medals. It's about power, culture, and the fight for Indigenous representation. And Levi Nelson? He's not backing down.